Chapter 735. Kishir removed his outer garment and rolled up his sleeves, revealing long black marks that seemed to have been left by a worm's tail. They were scars from a monster's leg, which had melted both the fabric and his skin. The charred, blackened skin was fallen, looking as if it had been crudely stitched back together. Although there was no bleeding, the wound's peculiar appearance suggested it was far from healed. Is there a trace of emergency treatment using divine power? Thought Gallium, a priestess who had introduced herself as such. Her keen eyes narrowed upon seeing the mark, recognizing it as the work of divine power. Under normal circumstances, anyone would wonder why they were summoned when another priest had already clearly been there before. But Gallium simply took a deep breath and remained silent. Indeed, she was the discreet individual confidently recommended by Lady Myra, the first princess. It seems to have been grazed by a monster's attack. It appears to have some toxicity. Yes, you might feel some pain while I channel the divine power. If it becomes unbearable, please let me know. Without asking the identity of the handsome man with golden hair and red eyes before her, Gallium immediately began to summon her divine power. A bright white light gathered in her hands and soon cascaded over the wound, illuminating the area. Kishir watched silently as his wound transformed, the flesh regenerating anew. Contrary to expectations of pain, his expression remained unchanged. It's all done. The wound may look clean, but it's freshly healed and very fragile. I advise you to avoid any strain for a few days. Your skills are remarkable. I'm grateful, Kishir said, his face breaking into a picture-perfect smile. Indeed, Gallium's divine power was impressive, rivaling that of priests in the capital. Now, could you also look at his right hand? It seems to have been strained during the battle. Kishir, having just received treatment, nonchalantly grasped Yudhir's hand and presented it to Gallium. Yudhir remained quiet, not uttering a word. Gallium hesitated upon seeing Yudhir's hand covered with a black glove. The glove might obscure a proper assessment of the injury. Would you prefer to receive treatment with it on? Her consideration for Yudhir's potential predicaments once again demonstrated her exemplary nature as a priestess. What should I do? As Yudhir hesitated, Myra quickly stood up. It seems time for me to relay instructions to those I bought for cleanup. I have separate matters to discuss with the other priests who followed Priestess Gallium. I will step out for a moment. Sensing that Yudhir's reluctance to remove his glove was due to the gaze of others, she tactfully took the two knights guarding her and left the room. Yudhir's glove hid his hand, marked with dark red veins, a nuisance to explain to others. But seeing the lengths they went to for his comfort, he felt no need to endure the inconvenience of being treated with his glove on. Trusting a priestess of Gallium's character who would neither pry for explanations nor leak information carelessly, Yudhir slowly pulled off his glove. Gallium, upon seeing the dark red branch-like veins stretching from Yudhir's hand to his sleeve, predictably refrained from any unnecessary questions. Could you please specify where exactly you feel discomfort? Please look at the wrist joint, not the skin. Gallium nodded in understanding when Yudhir explained that the injury occurred while wielding a weapon and abruptly changing direction. The area around your wrist is indeed quite swollen. Understood. She pressed around Yudhir's wrist several times to assess the condition and then infused it with divine power. After a cool, refreshing sensation passed, Yudhir felt the swelling in his wrist significantly reduce. Even after rotating his wrist several times, he felt no discomfort. Is there any other discomfort? She asked. No, thank you. Upon receiving his gratitude, Gallium's expression finally softened a bit. I'm pleased to be able to offer even a small help to those who fought selflessly to protect Charloin. I will certainly remember Priestess Gallium's assistance and ensure proper recompense in the future, Kishir responded. Gallium shook her head at Kishir's words, adding that she hadn't come seeking remembrance. Is the treatment complete? Not long after, Myra returned, now alone without the knights who had been following her. Gallium, I have asked the other priests who came with you to tend to the other injured here. There are no serious injuries, but many are exhausted. Could you continue to assist with this for the day? Of course, First Princess. As a follower of the divine, it is my duty to help without being asked. Gallium stood up, bowed politely, and then left the room. After waiting until Gallium's footsteps faded away, Myra sat down across from Kishir with a more relaxed demeanor. Now that we are free from prying eyes, we can talk more comfortably. What exactly happened to the cavalry after we parted ways? It's a bit of a long story. Kishir recounted how he was ambushed on his way back, the sudden emergence of a strange crack above a building, and the monsters that poured out from it. Despite summarizing, the enormity of the situation was clear in his retelling. Myra's expression turned serious, especially when Kishir mentioned, I sent people to watch over Baron Conche's house. We managed to capture the servant of the second prince, who was still alive, his horse, and some suspicious individuals. You managed to capture all of them, including the servant and the horse? How did you do it so quickly? It seemed doable, so we did it, Kishir replied nonchalantly. Yide quietly looked down, feeling a bit odd hearing how matter-of-factly Kishir spoke of such feats. The conversation then shifted to the root cause of all these events, involving the Star of Nagran and the Southern merchants. The Star of Nagran, a group of awakeners, tried to infiltrate our cavalry by planting spies. We have been aware of them for a while, so this wasn't surprising. We can handle this matter on our own, so the first princess need not worry too much. However, the situation with the Southern merchants is a bit different. Kishir briefly explained the Southern merchants and their trial involving Tain Duke. Myra acknowledged that she had heard about the Duke being misled by Southern merchants. She was shocked to learn that these merchants were not only active here, but also suspected to be true culprits behind her brother, the second prince's death. Do you mean to say that these Southerners conspired with Baron Conche to destabilize the succession of Honi? It's the most logical conclusion, considering that a year ago, through an introduction by Baron Conche, they infiltrated as a servant to the second prince, gaining his trust before orchestrating today's events. The exact time they had allied with Baron Conche was unknown. It could have been even before they tampered with Duke Tain. Myra's expression hardened as she likely pondered the same timeline. I never thought Baron Conche capable of harboring such foolish yet dangerous intentions. It seems we were greatly underestimated. After Ashrav, I was probably their next target, wasn't I? The previous Myra, in her former life, might have realized this malicious intent much later. But not this time. Myra, with her sharp intellect, quickly deduced that the target of these conspirators extended beyond Prince Ashrav. Her eyes, clenched in determination, sharpened like a razor-edged blade. Then I cannot delay any longer. Since you have captured the traitors on the spot, I must head to the Baron Conche's estate right away. Are you sure that's wise? Thank you for your concern, but some matters, no matter how difficult, cannot be postponed. These traitors not only betrayed the Honi family, but also risked the safety of all Charloin. To show everyone the extent of their crimes and their consequences, I must go now. Kishir smiled at her and spoke. I understand your resolve and I admire it. In that case, I will provide some cavalry members and special forces from the Imperial Army to assist you. There is no need to go to such lengths, knowing how busy you are here. Being busy is one thing, but the safety of an ally is equally important. Any harm to the first princess would no longer be just her concern alone. I want to make that clear. Myra was now alone. With the death of Ashrav, the second prince, Her path to succession seemed smooth, provided no issues arose concerning her. However, if problems emerged before she could become a successor, the situation would drastically change. When Kishir pointed out this risk, Myra nodded in agreement, not adding any further words. The first princess has generously provided priests and priestesses and knights to support us. It's only right that we do the same. Don't worry about it. Understood. Thank you. Myra gracefully rose and offered a formal farewell. As she left the room, her stride was devoid of any hesitation. Once the room quieted down, Yudhit turned to Kishir. He wanted to ask if Kishir was alright or if there were any other issues, but there were more pressing matters to discuss. With things having come to this, it seems impossible to visit the northern branch before the end of the second batch of recruitment entrance tests. That's likely. I didn't expect the southern merchants to ensnare us like this. I will handle communication with the north and... You are going to say we need more help to deal with and investigate these people, right? We will need more than just those here, so we should request additional support from the headquarters. Yes. Kishir had already guessed what Yudhir was about to say. Yudhir thought of those back in the capital and what they could offer. We will definitely need Kana, and bringing in more whose natives of the southern region would be beneficial. Ooh, so we are gonna get Gakane. If the situation drags on, calling in an apothecary might be wise. His extensive knowledge proved helpful in the West after all. Yes, and also... Oh wait, a messenger bird has arrived. Wait, I think with all the main characters kind of converging in the south, we are going to have a very freaking huge battle between the empire and the southern country. Kishir raised his hand to pause the conversation and stood up to open the window. A bird fluttered in, its legs bound with a cylinder larger than usual, seemingly carrying twice the usual amount of letters. Kishir's expression shifted slightly as he examined the outer surface of the cylinder. Is this a report from headquarters? I shall look into this right away. He got letters twice as heavy as before, assuming the Sage and Nahan's fighting and everything, and Sage trying to meet Duke Diarca. But the written letter is going to be so freaking heavy, that poor pigeon.